Hey,
Hey. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Happy
Woo,
Friday.
woo.
Let's go. Woo.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
Girl, I'm good. How you doing, girl?
I'm good.
I know you good, but we gonna talk about why you good.
Life is good. Hey.
Yeah. I'll wait for some folks to come in the space.
Come on
I'm just
in,
go ahead and
fam.
start
Yes.
my share. I can't say watch party no more.
Right?
I know, right?
Facebook, you're trash.
You're trash.
You're
You're trash
trash and your mama trash.
Listen, and all
that's
of
why
it.
you gotta own your own, y'all. That's why you gotta own your own, have your own platforms, whatever.
Whatever.
Bugging.
That. But happy Friday.
Happy Friday,
everybody.
darling.
How
Welcome,
are y'all?
everybody.
Okay.
I'm good. Listen, I'm about to pour me some wine. I'm so excited that it's warm in freaking Denver right now.
Yo,
what's up,
it's gonna be a beautiful weekend.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
About freaking time. Like,
I know.
When I tell y'all I've been sick of the winter.
But I promise you it's gonna snow like in 2 weeks.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to pay attention to the patterns, you know what I'm saying? And I just like that shit come, but hey, we'll see what Colorado do.
Listen. One can only
hope. But what y'all sipping on? Hey, Marcy.
Listen.
Hey, Steffi.
Hi, Steffi.
What's up,
I'm having
Steffi?
wine for you today, Steffi. Hello, darling.
Oh, yes. I'm having some wine, too. Mm-hmm. This is the wine from our event a couple weeks ago, Theopolis.
Yes, Theopolis. Black
owned.
Owned.
Female
vineyard.
Vineyard. Yes. Woman owned. Yes. Let's go.
This is their 2019 California white wine. And you have the red, right, Nick?
I do. I have the 2019 red.
Yes, darling.
And it's a whole vibe, okay? And then when you be sipping on something that you know a Black woman created, honey, you really be
it just tastes
vibe,
better.
Okay?
It just
tastes
better.
It
tastes even better.
It tastes way better.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's beautiful. So I got a little concoction going on. You know how I be doing.
I know how you be doing.
I went to the dispensary, roll up not too far from my house, and they were like, yo, you got to try this THC scissor. And I was like, oh, okay. So it is a THC infused blueberry syrup. And she was like, try it with Calypso lemonade. And so I mixed it in there, and I'm just,
living your best life.
Look like a little hypnotic over here, some shit.
I know.
So yeah, let's go.
We're gonna see how the effects of that.
Yes, exactly.
30 or 45.
Like some blue magic or some blue something. And what Marcy said, that's a heavy pour. Sis, if you only knew the Friday,
it's been a hell of a week.
The week I've had. I'm gonna have this pour and then some.
Right.
Yes. Listen.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. We back for another episode of The Sip. Hit that share button. That share button.
Yes.
Now we know we can't do watch parties anymore, but you can still share to your timeline so that your friends and family can come on through. So thank y'all so much for all the support. We got a really dope show for y'all today. Super excited about our special guest.
Yes.
And it's been a busy week. It's been a busy week in the internet. Honey, it's been a real busy week. So we have lots to discuss. But before we get into our sips and bips for the week, y'all know y'all need to go ahead on and meet us on over on Patreon, okay? Okay, we want to be curating way more events for you guys. And now it's about to get warm outside. It's warm today. The summer's coming. We want to do events for the summer, and we would love to have your support. So at any amount that you can monthly afford, head on over to our Patreon. Also, make sure you're following us on Instagram. We finally hit 5 followers. Now, I know that might not seem like not a lot, but that's a lot for us because it was organic, okay?
Exactly.
Right.
be working. And so we hit 500. Thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all following us and make sure y'all like our Facebook page.
Yes.
Let's get into this show. Okay.
Let's go.
So, our sips for the week. Who you got, Raj?
I don't really have one this week because I was so focused on my BAN. But I will just say, because I have shouted her out before, so I'm going to do it again. My sip for the week is none other than Carrie Joy, who was just featured in Outfront magazine today on the cover, darling.
Hold it up, sis.
Everybody's life. Hold it up. Exactly. So my sister in power is none other than activist, poet, fabulous performer, singer, all of that, all around magical black woman.
I appreciate you so much, sis. Listen, I hit Facebook at like 1 a.m. this morning. I didn't know when it was coming out. I didn't know I was gonna be on the cover, and it just I mean I have been on a cloud. I appreciate you so much, y'all. I feel like I wouldn't have the confidence that I have without my sisters. So I really appreciate you.
Oh, we love you, girl.
Yes, we love
you. We proud of you. We about to see your star rise. I can't wait, sis. It's amazing.
Go.
It is already rising, sis. And so, y'all give a big, huge round of applause. Drop them hand clap emojis for our sis, Carrie Joy. Hey.
Thank you, fam.
Yes, Steffi, I should have said that. The cover and the editorial, darling.
Honey, yes. Come on, 6-page spread.
I was like, okay, feature. Okay. And Veronica did a phenomenal job. So
Absolutely.
I really, thank you.
It was beautifully written. I was just like, oh.
Thank you, y'all.
Everybody's giving you some love. Thank
you,
Tia.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you.
Oh, Tia, don't think I missed you talking about some infused strawberry jam, sis. You can send it on over anytime.
Listen,
okay,
and them African braid donuts be putting me on my ass.
Them African child. We're not gonna talk about my experience with that. After we went whitewater rafting last year for Ryan's birthday,
it was like this big of a piece. It was like that much. You know,
I ain't gonna tell y'all how I was hallucinating driving from Breckenridge back to Denver.
Talk about heavy-handed. Tia's heavy-handed with that cannabis infused goodness.
Oh my God, yo!
All we gotta say is wherever you go, she needs to have a chaperone driver. That's all we gotta say.
Listen, why you gotta call me out like that? You don't know my life, okay? Listen, but she ain't lying. I don't know why I'm such a girl. THC put me on my ass every single time. Like the gun.
She cannot hang.
I cannot, and I ain't like I can.
Right? No, that's it.
But Tia, okay, if you get me some grape jelly or some grape jam,
here we go.
Strawberry, but I'm country. Okay, I need grape jelly.
So you can put it on your bacon, egg, and cheese.
Right. You don't eat a bacon, egg, and cheese without grape jelly.
I mean, I'm not saying that you don't do it, but I understand that there are people that do it. You know what I mean? I love you for it.
You can't eat it without it, okay?
Two things you don't come in between with Monique Brooks Roberts: her mandarin oranges and her grape jelly,
and my Polynesian sauce, and my Polynesian sauce. Okay.
Yo.
Dope.
Hey, Natalie, welcome, sis.
Yes, hey, Natalie.
What's up, Natalie?
So, do you have a sister in power for the week, Carrie?
I do, man. Ooh. And somebody who, I have been looking up to. I wrote a whole poem, called I'm Rooting for Everybody Black, based on her words. And so I'm giving a big shout out this week to Issa Rae, the one and only, the queen. So Issa has consolidated her entertainment production ventures for feature film, television, and digital under the recently launched Hooray Media Company. She also just won an NAACP award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series, and her response was, it's the only validation that matters, Black people's validation. Amen. And it reminded me of like just the way that she works, the way that she networks with people, and how she always works laterally, not trying to like reach reach up to folks that ain't worried about you and not trying to use measuring sticks that have been provided by a system that wants us to suffer and lose ourselves for their comfort and their convenience. So I love you, Issa. One day I'm gonna work with you. Yo, I'm just saying, like, remember my name because I'm coming. Okay. Yeah. So big up to Issa Rae. For real, for real.
And girl,
let them know, Carrie. Let them know.
It's gonna happen.
Alrighty. So I don't have a sip this week. Well, Carrie Joy is my sip every week. Right. Y'all know that. Every week. But I have a bit, okay? I have a brother in power for the week. And I got two. Actually, I got two. Dwayne Wade. He's my bip. He sat down with a bunch of ball players for a podcast. I think it's called like the Athlete Podcast. And he basically was like, what y'all not going to do is keep talking about my daughter, Zaya. Right. And it was just such a beautiful conversation needed amongst Black men. Right. Yes. Okay. He was like, this is a life or situation. And I love my child. Point blank and period. Yes. And I love Dwayne Wade. I love what him and Gabrielle Union be doing. Like, they support their child no matter what. Yes. If you don't like it, you ain't got to comment on their stuff. This is a child. And what I loved, he was like, Zaya don't even care about the noise. She don't care about none of y'all. Like, she's just living her best life and living in her truth. So just to hear him stand up for her in that way and just talk about his struggles at being a father and being in the situation and how it wasn't easy, but at the end of the day, he loves his child. And that's the point blank and the period. So shout out to Dwayne Wade.
Shout out to Dwayne. And Gabrielle, like you said, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Big love. That's so necessary, especially in the Black community. Like, we need to get each other together. Like, stop this bullshit.
We really do.
I'm so sick of it. Like, I'm literally so sick of it. Which leads me to my next bit, Lil Nas X. Okay? Lil Nas X said, I'ma swing downtown on a stripper pole.
On a stripper pole, baby.
On the devil, break his neck, and get my angel wings, okay?
Let's go. Let's go.
And y'all are mad. Y'all are big mad.
Big
mad. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know you're mad because you're turned on and you don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to do with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be honest. Let's be honest about what's going on.
A hit dog or holler, honey.
I'm trying to tell you. You know, all them times we been condemned to hell. You best believe I'm going down there on the stripper pole. That's exactly.
I know that's right.
That's exactly.
I got to go then, honey.
Best believe.
I mean, literally, he took back what the devil stole from him.
Right?
I have to do that reference, honey. Yes. Take back what the girl. You know them. We know all the church.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
There are so many examples of art and creativity. We can name so many that have been created specifically to spark conversation, to spark debate, to be an antithesis of judgment and Christianity and white supremacy. So good on him. And anybody who's uncomfortable with it, why don't you check why you feel uncomfortable? Why don't you ask yourself, again, when we talk about trans rights and when we talk about the church and all of that, for people to literally sit there and say, but I'm not comfortable with it. It has nothing to do with you, sis. You do not live with this person. You do not sleep with this person. They do not affect you. They do not affect your paycheck, your house, your kids, your nothing. So just stop. And you can choose what your kids watch if that's how you feel, but that ain't got nothing to do with any of these artists making these political statements. People talked about Erykah Badu when she made Window Seat and when she got shot in the middle of the street. That was her protest. That was her way. That was her art. Period. The end.
Right.
So either support these artists or shut the fuck up. Don't talk bad about
Period.
Stop censoring yourself. This is not about you.
Not about you.
Amen.
Period. So shout out to Lil Nas X. Shout out to Dwayne Wade. Yes. And all of our other sips for the week.
What do y'all think about the video? Let us know down below.
Yeah,
let us know what you think. And let us know what are some of the rebuttals that you would give to people who keep coming up with these same tired objections to artists and creativity and queer people just wanting to live in their truth. What would you say? Like, what is your response to the same discrimination, the same homophobia, the same all of it? Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Sorry.
And I heard, and I saw this on the gram. Somebody made a really great point. They were like, none of y'all said nothing about 3-6 Mafia. None of y'all say nothing
about Ozzy Osbourne biting heads off a bench.
Literally nothing. Nobody. But the moment, just say y'all hate gay people.
Right.
Just say y'all hate. Shut up. Just say that.
Especially when they gay and black. You so bothered.
So bothered. Just say that. Don't try to make this about his art. Don't try to make this about what he said. Don't try to make this about you allowing your kids to listen to Old Town Road 100 million times on Spotify. Right. Don't make this about that. Just say you're homophobic.
Right. You know what? Just say that. They're betrayed because of Old Town Road. They thought that they knew Lil Nas in a certain kind of way.
But the gag
when wasn't he gay? When was he not?
Point blank.
Clear about the fact that he's a gay black man.
Right.
Clearly. But Lil Nas X was like, first of all, I didn't make Old Town Road for kids. I literally talk about drugs and adultery.
Right.
If you let your kids listen to it, that's your fault.
The gay.
That's the gay.
That's on you.
That's the gay.
Like, you didn't pay attention. Don't blame that on me. Parent your own kid.
Right.
100%.
And I want to hear our guest's opinion on this too. You know what I'm saying? Because she posted a really dope video about it, and
I got my life,
my whole life. We gotta talk about that. We
got my life.
You know, and we could bring this up at that point too. But I know that we also talked about Donnie McClurkin.
Oh yes.
So I don't know if y'all want to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we can wait because I
Let's wait.
love.
I want to dive into that shit. I want to dive into that shit.
Special guest to dive into Donnie McClurkin. 22,408 days. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, Jesus can't fix it. Actually, let me not even.
If he say 22,408 one more time, and you've been gay all 22,408 days. But I'm done. We're gonna have our special guest talk about this. Okay.
Y'all, we need to hurry up and get syndication because we be talking so much shit. People just gonna have to deal, honey.
Right.
They're gonna have to deal.
Listen, we say what everybody wants to say and what everybody be thinking. And point blank.
Wait. Before we get to our guest though, can I talk about my
I was going to segue that right on into the BANs.
Go ahead, girl.
About like 10, 15 minutes before a special guest arrives into the space. So you got a BAN, honey.
No, you know what? And this is why I'm pouring the wine today because it's actually in celebration. Y'all don't understand.
Honey, yes. We love a BAN that we could celebrate in the situation. What's the situation, Raj? Tell them.
Malcolm X has a phrase called "the chickens come home to roost."
To roost, baby.
And I'm gonna tell you, it's not just Malcolm X phrase. You know, all Black folks have been saying it, but it has never been so poignant than every time I watch one of these Republican ass motherfuckers get roasted in the media. So, but wait, listen. First of all, let me say I am not drinking in celebration for the women who were victimized in this story. That is not what I'm doing. But I am drinking in celebration a little bit to the downfall of this sucker. So my BAN of the week is none other than Congressman Matt Gaetz. This fool right here literally it is alleged that he has been sleeping with, paying for, traveling, taking pictures of, sharing pictures of, just so many other horrible, inhumane things to women who are 17 years old of age and younger and older. And I just have to say that for this motherfucker who literally is so vicious and so viral, like he's been in Congress this whole time. He's a representative in Congress. He's been in there the whole time. He has not done any work. All he has done is go on the media and be on the news and talk shit about any marginalized community. He has no patience for them, no support for them, nothing. That's all he's done. And even against Representative Cheney, what is her name? Anybody who knows, y'all know what I'm talking about. Liz Cheney. He went down to Wyoming and did a campaign and a presentation against her, and there wasn't even an election. Like, that's how hateful this dude is. So for him to be now investigated under these alleged cases of trafficking and having sex with a minor and doing all of this, I just feel like it's the chickens coming home to roost. And this is why Black folks always see the long game. I don't care. Whatever you got to say about us, whatever you do to us, whatever you think you're doing with your laws or whatever, we sit back and wait. And all of the misdeeds that you do always come to light every single fucking time. So I am drinking in celebration today for bitch ass nigga number one, Matt Gaetz. And y'all know I don't like to say that live on the show.
Oh, he deserved it.
But it needed
Nasty ass. He deserved it.
Next to Trump, he's numero uno and a half. And he just got his comeuppance today. And when they put his ass in handcuffs, and when they put Trump's ass in handcuffs, sis, I'm gonna drink a full bottle of bubbly in celebration. Ain't nobody gonna be able to tell me shit. Who gonna
dancing in the streets, baby? Dancing in the streets.
Nobody gonna check you, honey.
The petty in me is too strong when it comes to the Republicans. Sorry, y'all.
No, facts. Super facts.
It's ridiculous.
No sympathy.
It don't make no damn sense.
But when these little moments happen, you be like, just a little bit.
Like, we've been trying to tell y'all, this motherfucker was trash.
But you're the law and order party, right?
Right.
But y'all are for the police, right? But y'all are for
y'all the godly party. Y'all the party with morals and shit.
The moral party. Get out of here, man.
The trash party.
Y'all know good and well. Go ahead.
He's our BAN. No, you're good. I was just saying he's the BAN. And who gonna check you, boo? Nobody.
Who gonna check you?
You got a BAN, Carrie?
I
actually don't have one. I mean, you really can't top that. I mean, we could talk about the dude who tried to run through the Capitol.
Right, today.
But he did, so.
This motherfucker.
Sir.
Y'all, people are, wait, can we just say two things?
Yes, absolutely.
So, people are really wilding out here, y'all. First of all, Black people and people of color, get healthy, protect yourselves, protect your house, protect your family, do what you got to do. Because these people out here are losing their goddamn minds over the fact that they are no longer able to control the majority. They've never been the majority, but they're really mad that they're unable to control it. And driving your car into the into the Capitol building or into the barricade of the Capitol, getting two people killed, getting killed yourself. What kind of country are we living in? And at what point do we wake up and go, wait a minute, what about humanity? And how do we come together? Right. Because this shit right here makes absolutely no sense. And how does war in the U.S. solve anything for anybody? It doesn't.
Not a damn thing.
But suit up, Black people. That's all I'm
trying to tell you.
Suit up, Black and brown people. Don't put your eyes open.
And baby, I'm going to be armed until they take guns away from the police. You know what I'm saying?
Honey.
Until that type of gun control happens, until y'all come after the police officers and these white motherfuckers, like, trust and believe you ain't gonna catch me slipping. Nope. Yeah.
Right. And even about the Chauvin case today, because we have not said a lot about this, for the fact that police supervisors are going on record and testifying right now that what Chauvin did is wrong, you can't refute that, sir. No. Hang it up. And the whole police reform needs to be kicked into gear.
Absolutely.
Like, stop the bullshit, y'all.
And abolish them motherfuckers.
How much more evidence do y'all need?
Right.
More Black niggas?
Right.
You know it.
More dead Black niggas.
You know that's what I'm saying. More dead Black niggas? Like, is that what we need?
Right.
So.
Anyway, woo! Right.
All right.
Bring it back around.
Ladies and gentlemen, those were our sips, bips, and BANs for the week.
Oh, can I just say one more thing? I'm sorry.
No.
And one more thing. Go ahead, sis.
Because listen, I'm trying to get sponsorship. So, Ellen, thank you so much for your comment about my hair sledge tonight, sis.
Yes.
I'm wearing a little Outre Nisha 201 for my girls who like to wear hats, honey. So, thank you very much, and I appreciate you and moving right along. Thank you.
You look fabulous, sis. You look fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give my hair a break, so you're going to see a lot of sledge, darling. So.
Awesome. So, are y'all ready for our special guest?
Yes.
Let's go.
So, before I even, read her bio and bring her on, I want to tell y'all how I met her on social media. So, rewind to last year, COVID hit, March 13th. I remember that day because that was the last day the kids had school. And then a show came on Netflix called Love is Blind. And I feel like everybody in America was watching that show. I don't think you watched it, Raj.
Mm-mm.
You know, Listen,
I'm always late. I see shows late, and then I'll be all like, "Did y'all hear about this show?" And be like, "That was like
we saw that like last year."
Listen, I was not in a good place, so I was like, if I could see some people fall in love, then let me see. So I started watching the show, and like millions of other Americans, I got mad invested. Then, you start looking up people on social media, and the two individuals that ended up like stealing the whole show, everybody just loved them. Cameron and Lauren, everybody just loved them. So, I started following them, and then I saw this girl in Cameron's stories, and I was like, this chick is hilarious. Like, when I tell y'all, and I didn't tell her this when she came on earlier, she literally got me through some of that quarantine with her. I'm so serious. Like, all my work was canceled. All my tours were canceled. The kids were freaking out. And this show brought me joy. And to sit and watch her story, I was literally looking forward to seeing her stories because my ass was dying. Like dying. And it's a lot of BANs on that show. So if you ain't seen it, go to Netflix and watch. You late, but still go watch it. But I just thought that like her way with words. Like, so when I see like storyteller in her profile on Instagram, that's exactly what she is. I was like, yo, this chick is funny, but she has a way of like, making it funny, but like it's real. You're like, damn, like she's preaching a whole word. And so I started following her, and then it turns out she knows Candy, Carrie's wife. And I was like, what a small world. Hey,
so she could say hi, but yes.
And I was like, what? So I DM'd her like, yo, you know Carrie and Candy? And she's like, well, I know Candy. I'm going to let her tell you guys how she knows Candy. But I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I literally just saw her in the stories of somebody that I was following, their story. And then that's what, the beautiful part of social media. But I had to, I wanted to ask her how to shoot my shot. Like, sis, we do this podcast. I feel like you would be absolutely amazing for the podcast. She said yes, and here we are. So I'm going to get into this bio. Miss Shonda Harper is our special guest this evening. Shonda Harper is a filmmaker, producer, writer, bartender, foodie, and professional shit talker. Fueled by a love for history, adventure, and a little mischief, Shonda's work revolves around centering the experiences of the marginalized and often overlooked. So once I found out girl was a filmmaker, I was like, oh, hell yeah. So welcome to the SIP, Miss Shonda Harper.
What's up, guys? What's up, Candy? So good to see you.
I love you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Word.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Please share with the people really quick before we get into question of the day, how you know Candy, because like this is just so crazy.
Okay, so I know Candy through my homegirl Cecily that I went to Georgia State with. Cecily was doing her master's. I was getting my undergrad. And Cecily organized this annual get-together called the Homegirl Retreat. And so every year she picks a different location and she gets all of her homegirls together and we just go, we vibe, we kick it, we unwind, fellowship, if you will. And so I met Candy at the Homegirl Retreat years ago. And I met Carrie through Candy.
So you're going to have to tell us how we can get these invites to this homegirl retreat.
Right.
You know what? Y'all got to get at Cecily about that because, you can't be inviting somebody else to someone else.
She's like, hold on, wait.
Right. I can't just be the one to show up with like +4. So, you got to get at Cecily about that.
Go ahead. I was about to bring it up.
Yeah,
go ahead, Shonda.
Cecily. Like I remember when we were in college and she just was so driven and so focused on what she wanted. And since we both graduated, she has just gone on to do amazing things. She actually has a book that's about to be released. She's been published in the New York Times. Wow. Every time I look at her IG, she's hobnobbing with different celebrities and shit. Like she's really glowing up, and I love to see it. So shout out to Cecily, man. That's my homegirl.
Big shout out. I went ahead and dropped the link for the book in the chat, y'all. I know it drops in October, but the pre-orders are right now. So support her. Bad flat black girl. Yo, she be holding it down. And I can't wait to actually have her on the SIP one day too. So we gonna make that shit happen.
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's get into this question of the day.
Let's do it.
And before what you sipping on, sis? Because I know you be drinking, okay? What you sipping on?
Drinking a little bit. Like I said, I'm a bartender. I've been in the service industry, the hospitality industry for a long time, so I know my way around different spirits and cocktails. But today I'm sipping on Tullamore Dew. It's an Irish whiskey.
That looks
good. Irish whiskey. Just drinking it straight on the rocks, like an OG,
All right.
Come on, Swag.
I know, right?
I love me some good brown liquor now.
And it's good. It's smooth. It'll get you into trouble sometimes, So I'm gonna try to keep it cute.
No, don't.
We love when people get drunk on the show.
It be the funniest shit.
Don't push my arm.
Yes. All right. So let's get to the question of the day. There's been a lot in social media and in the news about people condemning folks to hell like Lil Nas X, and so let's think through this real quick. You've died and you've gone to hell, right? Because whatever, we there.
I'm going.
Let's go. In hell, everyone gets assigned a job. What is your job?
I'm the bartender. I'm the bartender. I'm serving y'all drinks. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
I'm gonna keep the party moving. I'm gonna keep it popping. That's what I do. I'm a mixologist, so I'm definitely gonna be slinging drinks in the fiery pits.
In the fiery pits. That's what I'm trying to say. Amen.
That's what I'm doing.
What about you, Mo and Raj?
And if Shonda is serving drinks, then I got my band there, okay?
Let's go.
We playing music. We trying to get the party lit. Like, I might as well be the resident musician, okay?
I'm with it.
As well.
I'm with it.
I'm here for it.
All right. What about you, Raj? What about you?
I mean, I'll be the resident bubbly. Well, no, I'll be the resident vocalist and the bubbly taster. Okay,
yeah.
I need to taste
bubbly taster
before they serve it to everybody else. And if I die, then I die drinking bubbly, and I go back to hell. So it's all
right. It's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit. Okay.
I disappear, like I die, and then I drop back down on the stage with a glass. It's all good.
Right.
I'm with
it. So for me, I was like, I'm gonna be the praise and worship leader. You know what I'm saying?
Praise and worship leader.
100%, because we are praising and worshiping ourselves. At that point, what the fuck? It don't matter.
At that point,
you know what I mean?
We gonna check me.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
So hell is actually the SIP club.
That part.
Carrie is the praise and worship leader.
We gonna be singing dance, praise and worshiping.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a live band. Get your tickets, man.
Get your tickets.
Best party in town, sis.
I'm dead.
Oh shit.
But you know what though? On some real shit, I fuck with the Lil Nas X video just from like a production technical standpoint. It was very well done.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And then just also as someone who dealt with a lot of that condemnation from a lot of Christians, because I grew up in a very, evangelical Christian background. People telling me that my lifestyle and my choices are going to send me to hell. Like, I think that at some point you just come to terms with like, okay, well, I'm going to be happy. And I'm going to be authentic, and I'm going to be true to myself.
That's it.
And if I go to hell, then I'm just going to have to fucking go to hell. So
it
is what it is. So I feel like a lot of what went into that video probably was just a lot of, I don't want to say backlash, I'm looking for the right term, but like a reaction to a lot of the trauma that queer people have experienced at the hands of the Black church.
Hell yeah.
Right.
You hit the nail on the head, for real. Facts. Super facts.
Period.
All of that.
Because, I mean... like you said, though, it was such a beautiful production. Like, he told a story. You know what I'm saying? And because y'all all caught up in your feelings and your pants is getting high and you don't know what to do with yourself. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
like,
that's what it is.
You know, so you like, oh no, like he can't worship the devil. He can't. First of all, you didn't even watch the video. Like, clearly you didn't watch the whole video.
Clearly.
You don't know what the fuck has happened.
How's he worshiping the devil if he broke the devil's neck?
If he killed the devil.
Right. He snapped
Like, what are you
his
even
neck.
talking about?
Right.
Yo, it don't make no sense. But I'm like, yo, if I can't make it into your heaven don't deserve me, man. Like, period.
Now that's a word right there.
It is what it is.
This has always been my fundamental question to every Christian. And listen, I was raised Baptist. I wasn't raised Pentecostal. So y'all know I have a different experience. But even me asking my mom, I would be like, what about the people that never heard about Jesus Christ? How is it that they're going to hell? And they don't know about this supposed story that you tell that everybody should be responsible to.
Right.
And they could never answer
There's
that.
No answer.
There's never answer.
There's no religion, y'all. There's no one thing. There's humanity, and that's it. And if you can't respect another person's humanity, then you're infringing and you're harassing. And you should go to hell for that.
And you're actively creating hell here. Like, I love what Sarai said. Sarai, she was like, hell is right here on earth. The people who hate us live in it daily. And that's facts. Like, y'all are actively creating this oppressive and horrific experience for us. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to create heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to do that with my people. So, yeah.
That's right.
Real talk.
And Sarai said the devil plays a mean tambourine. Honey, I know that's
right.
Let's go.
My tambourine hand is strong now. The church let it be.
Go.
I got it. What you want? I'm ready. Let me know.
Yes. That was a great question, Carrie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get into this interview. And we're going to start by asking you, who is Shonda Harper?
Wow. Okay. So Shonda Harper, I'm a creative person. I like to write. I like to tell stories. For a long time, I wondered what that was going to look like. I tried fiction. I tried poetry. But filmmaking has really become my main outlet for my creativity. I like to have fun. I'm a foodie. I'm a critical thinker. I'm always a little bit of a troublemaker. I've always had that streak in me. Extrovert. I like to have a good time, man. I like to have a good time. I'm just trying to enjoy my life. And I think, I spent a lot of time in my early 20s, especially just trying to come to terms with who I am and my sexuality and what that means to my family relationships and all this and that. And so once I started approaching 30, I don't know what happened, but I just stopped giving a fuck. And I just started living my life on my terms.
Right.
And that's what I've been doing. And so, that's who I am. I'm just a free-spirited, shit-talking, gay-ass creative in Atlanta trying to get this thing popping, you know?
She is, man. She is.
I love it. All of it. Absolutely. So, we had a conversation briefly before the show that you are from Milledgeville, Georgia, which you say is country. So how does a girl from country-ass Milledgeville get to Georgia State, which is where you got your film degree from, correct?
Yes.
In Atlanta. So tell us about that transition.
Okay, so I lived in Milledgeville for 27 years. And small town, very conservative, and I don't want to shit on everybody in Milledgeville, but just generally speaking, people are closed-minded. That small town thing, a lot of people don't leave. They don't see other perspectives. And I've always just been free-spirited, a free thinker, and living there, something wasn't there. Something was missing. And I didn't know what it was. So I got my associate's degree at a 2-year college there, transferred to Georgia State. And once I moved here, I figured out what I was missing, and it was community. Mm. You know what I mean? Having queer Black people to surround myself with, you know what I mean? Where I'm not feeling like an anomaly. I'm not feeling like I'm just this sore thumb sticking out. Right. I came to Atlanta for college, and what I found was my home. I found my community. I found my friends. I found my tribe. And so I'm still here, and I love it here, and I fully intend to stay and just grow my roots here creatively.
That's
awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful.
That is. I'm going to actually skip forward a few questions because you already touched on this a bit. So Carrie and I both know so much about growing up in a very legalistic, I'm a violinist, okay? I started playing violin at 9 years old. Thank you. 8, 9 years old. But I grew up in the PAW Pentecostal church, okay? Apostolic church. So I'm playing classical, and it was cool until I started playing hip hop. It was cool until I was playing for rappers. It was cool until I was doing all these other things. And so Carrie and I both really, really understand like how it is to like be closeted into yourself and just people telling you gonna burn in hell for this. So you already, touched on that. So I want to talk about like when I see you on social media, your presence is so outright and you don't care, but you know that fear that comes from being instilled in you in that church, that's not an easy thing to get over.
It's not.
How like, because you said you started to get towards 30 and you was like, I don't give a fuck no more. So what was it like? How was it when you knew like this is not the life I'm trying to live over here, this is who I am called to be? How did you deal with that transition out of the church into where you are now? Because I think that's a huge conversation that we can have.
It is. Right. It is. And this is the thing that I always have to bring to people's attention when they talk about like queer people. It's not like one day I just woke up and was like, I think I want to start fucking with women now. Like, that's just what I want to do today. I've always been this way. From the time that I was a child. Like, I can remember being 4 or 5 years old, having crushes on girls, but feeling terrible about it. Because I've always been told that this is not normal. It's not acceptable. I didn't really see any gay people. And the gay people that I did, or queer people that I saw in my hometown, they were ostracized. And, so, I got to be, I started approaching adolescence and, my teenagers and puberty. And, that's when you really start trying to figure your body out, what you like, what you don't like. You're just a kid. You're just figuring it out. But it became so clear so early for me. But I didn't know how to act on it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know how to have that conversation. I just didn't know.
Right.
So I really went through it for a long time, up until I would say my mid-20s. And I will never forget this one day. I was at a bar. This is so random. I was at a bar and this old like stud ass lesbian was at the bar, drunk as hell. I'm drunk right next to her, but I'm in my feelings because at the time I wasn't in communication with my family, and I've always been close to my family, so that was really hard for me. So I'm just spilling it all out to this old ass stud at the bar, and she just said, "Look, you have to get used to the fact that people are just not going to like who you are." Like, she just gave it to me raw. You know what I'm saying? She was like, this is who you are. The world is not going to accept you, and you're going to have to choose your happiness over all of that. Like, this is who you are. You're strong enough to take this journey. You're strong enough to be this person. So just do it. And I don't know what it was. It seems like such a simple ass conversation, but when that woman said that to me, it's like something just snapped. And she said, "You are a dope ass person. I've been talking to you for like an hour, but I know that you're a dope ass person. You seem like a strong individual. Tap into your strengths and just have the courage to be yourself, and fuck everybody else. Fuck what the word. You gotta accept. You gotta grow some thick skin, and that's not fair. It's not fair,
right?
But that's the world we live in." And so once she told me that, I was like, you know what? She's right. And and as I've gotten older, I've had to learn how to navigate relationships with family members, people who might have an opinion about who I am. And it's sometimes, if a relationship means a lot to you, like it's someone, close relation to you, you have to, sometimes for me, it's been like look, we ain't even got to talk about that shit. Like, I love you. I want to be in a relationship with you. We just going to keep it at this level. I don't know. It's like a continuing process of how to navigate relationships when you have differences of opinion. And I hate to say it like that because it's not just an opinion. It's something
right.
It's your identity.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, pretty much I just got to a point where it was just like, I can't keep living like this. I just have to be myself and fuck it. But it took a lot of therapy now. Don't get it twisted.
Ooh, amen to that. Preach.
Years of therapy to really understand a lot of the trauma that I had like to even understand that there was trauma. Because I didn't even know. I didn't even know, because sometimes if it's your normal, you don't even know that it's so it was one of those situations. It took years. And I think that's why I'm so tenacious. That's why I am so bold about it. Because I had to fight to get that confidence, to get that type of freedom. So, sorry, that was very long-winded.
No, no, it was not long-winded. I appreciate you sharing
Yeah.
Because these are the stories that we need to talk about. Like point blank in the period. I can't tell you how many gay people I saw that I grew up with in the church that have just surrendered like Donnie McClurkin. Like, I'm just going to be single for the rest of my life because, I
And
want to please this guy.
And miserable.
And
He's like,
miserable,
he's like, it just never works with women. I'm not going to find, because you're gay.
Because you're gay. Go get you a man.
That is why.
Go
get it. Like, you know what I mean? And I just want to say I appreciate you so much, Shonda, for doing you and being authentically you, because I feel you. It is a battle. It's still a battle. Even having those conversations like you were saying, like just knowing people, especially family members, where it's like I'm gonna be able to talk to you and we could be cordial, but like clearly, I think what's crazy for me is when people like bring it up but don't want to talk about it. I'm like, why the fuck you bring it up? You know what I'm saying? Like, why we here? So anyway, I just want to say, like, real big love to you, man. And we just got to do us. I was married to a whole dude. He was a good dude, but I was married to a whole man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so at some point in time, it's just like, how miserable am I going to make myself just because I don't have the courage to be authentically me, and that was real. Like I had to check that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I just want to say big love to you. Keep doing your thing.
Absolutely. And if me saying that can help anybody to just be like, you know what, I can do this, then it's worth it. You know what I mean? And I just, that's why I love y'all were talking about D Wade earlier.
Yeah.
Like I be getting teary-eyed sometimes. Just seeing the support that he has for his daughter and how vocal and out loud he is with it.
Absolutely.
Like, can you imagine if every queer Black child had
that as a parent?
Can you imagine? Like, that's the shit that be fucking me up. Because I'll be like, man, I can't even imagine any of my parents being like that. Any member of my family being that vocal in their support. So I can't imagine what that's like as a child to be getting that so early, like how that reaffirms you.
Absolutely.
So shout out to D Wade. I just wanted to tag that on to what y'all said earlier. Like, I love their family. And I hate to put people on a pedestal, like relationships on a pedestal, but they are just a beautiful, beautiful Black family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think what you said in your story, and as much discrimination as we have felt from any of our family members in general, it pisses me off because I feel like the conversation that we're not having is the responsibility of those family members to modify their behavior, not the other way around. It is not for you to change who you are. It is for them to change how they respond to you and remember their humanity in general. But I had a different question for you. I know that even though you went through those challenges, somehow you found the inspiration to move forward. And as a filmmaker, are there queer filmmakers that inspired you? Like when I was growing up, I loved Cheryl Dunye. Like I loved a lot of the filmmakers of the time who were making really things that really inspired me. But who are queer filmmakers now that inspire you or that you want to work with?
You know what? Like growing up, I was super sheltered. Like my parents had just a lot of rules. Like honestly, we could only listen to Christian music. We could had really short leashes in terms of like what we could watch on TV. So it's a lot of stuff that I missed out on. And I had to try to catch up. Like once
I'm with you 100%.
Late.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
But queer filmmakers that I would like to work with now, and I hate to say this, but as a filmmaker, I really don't watch a lot of films. It sounds horrible, but I don't.
Okay.
What's the film that you want to make? What's like the story that you want to tell? Sorry, Nick, but
no, you're good. You're good.
No, it's cool. I've always wanted. Well, there's a lot of stories that I want to tell, but I feel like a lot of times when there are queer Black narratives, it's always like this. 20-something living in LA or, New York or whatever. I want to tell the story of a queer Black person from a rural background. And in a lot of ways, I'll be exercising some of my own demons and my own traumas and the journey that I've had. That's a story that I want to tell because it's a very unique, a very special, different type of queer experience when you're in that type of environment. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a major city, you're in Atlanta, you're in Denver, it's a little bit more progressive. But trying to really establish yourself, figure out who you are in a in a surrounding that's just not conducive to any of that. That's a story that I want to tell. And honestly, I don't know I can't even name a queer filmmaker that just jumps out at me that I would just love to work with. I'm sorry, I'm not good at that question. Because
listen, maybe you're the queer filmmaker that is needed in the world.
You are the one, sis.
You are the one. Yeah, that's all right.
For real. And Shonda, I wanted to ask you real quick. Can you tell people a little bit about Soul Force Productions? Sorry to overstep me, but just so people know what they're looking at real quick.
Okay, so Soul Force Productions is a production company that I started in college with a good friend of mine, and so yeah, basically our focus is really just to tell the stories of people that are often overlooked, marginalized people, stories that you might not have heard about, history that you haven't heard about, brands that you haven't heard from. It's all about just supporting. And the interesting thing is I got the inspiration for the name Soul Force Productions from Martin Luther King's speech. And I've literally, it's been in me since I was a little girl. When I read the I Have a Dream speech, and he talks about, there's this one excerpt where he talks about not using physical force, but using a creative soul force. And that always stuck with me.
That's dope.
And so I just like to think of my creativity as that's how I can make a difference.
Right.
So that's the objective of Soul Force, is to just put a spotlight on marginalized people and history that you haven't heard of, and things of that nature.
I love that.
Love that. So what inspired you to have a career in film? What was it? Was it your experience growing up, or just what was it?
Like I said, I've always liked storytelling, and I've always been a writer. But it took some time for me to figure out like the avenue that I really wanted to take with that. And once, like, I've always loved films. I've always loved like watching them, sort of dissecting them, commenting on them, like, and I knew from a young age that like I'm not like a regular like film watcher. Like I since I was little, when I watch something, I'm always breaking it down and thinking about the camera angles and how they did this, how they did that. And then as I got older and I just started researching things, I was like, you know what? I think film is my thing, because I see stories in my head. Like I see how I want it to look. So yeah, and I studied film at Georgia State, and that's when I was really like, okay, this is for me. This is my shit right here.
Right.
And then with the first film that I did, Sweet Auburn Blues, that just let me know, oh, okay, I know what the hell I'm doing. Like, I'm actually good at this. It's not just some fucking crazy ass dream. I can do this shit.
Right.
I love that. I love that.
Can you tell us about Sweet Auburn Blues? It's a documentary about the untold story of America's Black Mecca. So
yes. So if you don't know, Auburn Avenue is a street here in Atlanta. It's in downtown Atlanta. And if you looked at it now, you would never know the rich history that's there, but it was like the hub for Black culture, for Black entertainment, Black business, doctors, lawyers, you name it. And it also was kind of like, it wasn't just like, oh, like the Black elites live over here. It's a very like mixed neighborhood in terms of like economic class. But
it's like Welton Street out here in Denver.
Right.
And Dr. King grew up there. Not W.B. Du Bois. What is his name? I'm drawing such a blank. A lot of civil rights leaders were raised there. On John Wesley Dobbs, that's the name. But yeah, so when I started going to Georgia State, I walked around campus a lot in between classes, and I stumbled onto Auburn Avenue, and a lot of the places have been preserved as historic sites. So I started reading the little plaques and doing my research. And I was like, yo, this shit was really fucking dope. Like, this shit was like popping in the era of like Jim Crow and segregation. Like, how did these Black people create this oasis in the South, in the heart of the South? So once I started looking into that, I was like, oh, this is a story. This is a story. I can't believe nobody's told it, but I'm gonna tell it. And it went from there and it grew from there. And that's how Sweet Auburn Blues came to fruition.
That's dope.
Where
I
can
love
we
what you
view
said.
it?
Oh,
I was gonna say, can we view it? Can we?
Yes, you can.
Can we get the hookup though? No.
Yeah, I got you. So it's on Human TV. So it's HUEMAN TV. I'm gonna find the link and I'm gonna post it to the chat so that you can post the link. I don't know how that works, but yeah, we ended up getting a lot of good funding for it. We got picked up by a network. It did really well here in Atlanta, and I couldn't be prouder of it. It's like my first baby, you know.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, that is super beautiful.
Yes, that is
You better
amazing.
work.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and I can't wait.
It was
to check
dope.
it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I have a question around your obstacles because you know we Black women out here and it's hard in these streets. And so as a filmmaker and as a queer woman, what have been some obstacles in your career that you have faced and how have you hit them head?
You want to know what? If I'm being completely 100% honest, my biggest obstacle has been me. Because
tell that truth.
you know, like it's one thing. You ever notice how like sometimes you have what's the term that the imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I would be in these spaces and these screenings and talking to these producers, and I just would feel so inadequate. You know, like coming from a working class background, first generation college graduate. You know what I mean? Like I have this dream and I have this passion and I created this thing, but then sometimes I would just feel so unworthy. Like I don't belong to be like what am I doing here? I'm nervous and I'm this and I'm that. It took a lot for me to overcome that. To be like, you know what? You are just as smart, just as capable, just as deserving, just as worthy as every other motherfucker in this room.
Hell yeah.
And then also getting to know some of these people, which is it's a predominantly white industry, especially in some of the circles that I was rolling in with when we were doing Sweet Auburn Blues. And some of these white people would just be so confident and they didn't even do shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For no reason.
The mediocrity.
For no reason. Like you just walk in the room like you in charge. And it's like, you and I, who are you? And then I started realizing if I could just have I'm dope. This is my film. And these people talking about my shit while I'm in the room like it's not my shit.
Right, that part. I feel that. I feel that.
So that was really my biggest obstacle was myself and just realizing you deserve to be here. You're talented. People are seeing that talent, own it, and just be in the moment and don't diminish yourself because of your own insecurities, you know?
Yeah, super fast.
Y'all hearing this?
Listen,
everybody hearing this?
The gems are dropping. The gems are dropping. I hope you paying attention.
Like all I'm doing is just speaking from my experience. Like I just like if you ain't never had it like that before, and then all of a sudden you thrust into these spaces, you just be like, "Oh my God, I'm so out of my element. Like, can I do this? Can I really?" And the resounding answer from every other direction was yes. This is you, Shonda. This is your calling. But it was me who doubted myself.
Right. I feel that.
Believe in yourself. Yes.
I feel that.
Yes.
Sis, you better preach.
You know
I'm trying. I ain't trying to preach. Why y'all got me preaching on here?
Well, listen. This is in the blood.
That liquor got
you helping me,
right?
I am a pastor's kid, so I give you a sermon real quick.
Let's go.
Yes,
Honey, I know that's right.
Got the tambourine and the offering plate. We ready.
Exactly.
Ready. Come on, tambourine.
Come on, praise and worship. No.
Right.
I'm ready.
Stay ready.
So I have a question around, it's a little fun question. If you had an unlimited budget, all the means in the world, what kind of film would you create and who would be your dream team in that film?
Oh, shit. Okay. So this is going to sound really crazy, but I have always wanted to make a bomb-ass Christmas film.
Yeah.
When we have like Black cult classics like Friday and Setting Off but I want to make just like, how you got like a Christmas Story and Home Alone 2. I want to make the Black
Let's go.
Classic.
Let's go.
Yes, listen.
Okay,
I'm ready.
So I have my way. if I have my way, okay, I want Issa, because Issa is just the shit.
She's
she
the
can only make it.
shit.
Come on.
Like, there's no
Come on. She can
denying
do the whole
it.
film
Right.
and kill it. Yes.
So I gotta have Issa.
Hell yeah.
I got to have Loretta Devine because she everybody mama or auntie.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Yes.
I love Angela Bassett, so
Yes.
I would love to figure out a way to make Angela. You know who else I really like, and I mean I've always known that she's a talented actress, but seeing her in interviews recently, I'm like, yo, I actually feel like I fuck with her if I would know her. Nia Long, man. And
Yes.
She's so underappreciated.
She is.
She
Like
really
her
is.
career has spanned decades. She's given us drama, comedy. You know what I'm saying? She's sexy as fuck. Like,
Listen, no lies.
I need Nia Long. And then other than that, I would be all about finding new talent because there's so many talented, amazing.
What about
people
Ingenue Ellis? You don't like Ingenue?
Who?
Ingenue Ellis?
From what?
She was just in what was that film? Oh my god! And she was
Let me go.
Oh, and of course I'm
right. Let me look
at it. She's been on
I'm bad with
Quantico.
names.
She's been on Quantico. She's been on she was just in that freaking was it the Marvel film? What was she played a black superhero? Y'all, somebody knows about Ingenue Ellis. Somebody needs to talk about this woman.
Oh, she's in the new
Okay, let me look.
She's in a new Marvel film.
Yeah, she is my NCISLA. Yes, Natalie. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Ingenue is the shit. I'm sorry.
No, I'll take your word for it, child. Like, I believe I told you I don't watch a lot of films, and I don't watch. I'm such a nerd. I watch documentaries all the time.
I love that.
And then I watch shit like I love adult animation, so like Boondocks.
Yes.
I love Futurama. I love
South Park has so many messages.
South Park is so slept on now, and I'm like. They killed it with the satire.
Yo, they do. Over the pandemic, shit.
Yes.
They got some classics in Bob's Burgers, man. Bob's Burgers is my shit.
I haven't seen that one yet.
All the time. But yeah, so I'm not really that big into. I know it sounds bad, but I don't watch a lot of movies.
No.
Listen, that's your thing,
yeah.
I remember Missy Elliott used to say like she ain't listen to nobody but herself. She was like, you know what I mean, like. The only person that I really want to hear right now is me. So let me channel. You know, I feel that. Yeah.
Love it. Did you guys have any questions? Because I have another one for you.
Oh, I was just wondering what your latest favorite documentary is. You said you're into documentaries. Like, what are you watching now?
Oh gosh, so I actually haven't. Because the thing is, I watch them so much that sometimes I'll be like, there's like nothing new. Because I'm always on Netflix or Hulu looking for a good one. It's one that I just watched on Netflix not too long ago, and I watched it. Oh, it's this one called, I think it's called like Crack or something like that.
Oh, yes. Girl, that was good.
Yes. Candy's dad was like, y'all need to watch that Crack film. Y'all need to
watched it, honey.
It's so well done.
Yo, it was
well done.
So well done.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I like when you take a topic or something that's just big and broad. And to have the ability to just so succinctly break it down, you know what I mean, and because it wasn't just like, oh my gosh, crack is everywhere. There's a lot of things that led up to it.
They made the argument. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
so I really enjoyed that. I really like this one on Netflix. It's like a series though. It's called Hip Hop Evolution.
Yes. I watched that.
I love it. I love music, and I love it. When you study music and something like as fresh as hip hop and as new as hip hop, because it really hasn't been around that long as a genre.
Right.
It's so organic the way that it happened, and it's just something that's so beautiful that was birthed by Black people.
Yes.
You know, young Black people, marginalized Black and brown people. So the whole story is just. It's beautiful, but it's also like, damn, Black people created something, and it just became this thing, this worldwide thing. Now
that's what we do,
They're using it to sell everything from drawers to groceries to sodas. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how it's blown up, and it's really only been around since like the late 70s.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. Those are some of the things that I've been watching.
I love that.
Hey, Sansheree. Girl, she said, I love Bob's Burgers. And Natalie Mosley said, I would love to see a sci-fi or fantasy featuring our people. Yes.
Yes. Definitely a sci-fi.
There's this book called The City We Became.
I think my thing froze up.
Oh no.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Oh.
Okay. Listen.
Be back.
That is 2021, baby. That's just where we at. Okay.
One day we're gonna be on TV and we're gonna,
you know what I'm saying? And they gonna handle that shit. They gonna handle that shit.
And it was in a real good part of the conversation.
I know.
Okay, she said she said
she'll be back.
But I was gonna, until she come back, I was gonna say there's this book called The City We Became by this sci-fi author N.K. Jemisin, and like it takes place. I think we back.
Yeah. What's the name of the book, Carrie?
The City We Became.
The City We Became. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
here she is.
Okay.
Hey! I'm not sure what happened. I was really on a roll, and then everything froze, and everybody was like.
It was perfect timing, though. At least it wasn't like mid sentence or something.
Right.
Yeah. No, I was just talking about Natalie mentioned sci-fi, and so there's this book, The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, who is a sci-fi author, a black sci-fi author, and it's based in New York City, and it's dope, right? Because it talks about like white supremacy on this crazy level where it's like you become your borough to defend your borough against like these white invaders that kind of look like aliens. It's dope shit. I'm just saying, anybody out there that wants to make a sci-fi film as well, y'all should look into that, because I would.
You know what surprises me is that like, why has no one made a film adaptation of anything by Octavia?
Right.
Someone just said that. Now
Octavia Butler. Yes.
Like, come on. Like Horrible of the Summer?
Yes.
Right.
Listen, there's a dope play by Toshi Regan that you can check out.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
But Toshi Regan tours it all over the country and has been for years.
Yes. But it's so beautiful. It's such an amazing story.
It is.
And I would love to see it on screen. Now I don't know what the logistics are, of making something like that happen, but I would love, and I don't even love sci-fi as a genre that much. Right. But that would be an absolute dream of mine, to work on a project like that, bringing that story to life.
Yes.
And Candy corrected, mentioned that there's definitely some sci-fi stuff out there, like Lovecraft Country, Raising Dion, Black Lightning. Yeah. No, you're right, babe. You're 100% correct. So y'all out there doing it. We just got to watch that shit. You right.
Listen, and Raising Dion is so
good.
You would be like,
Black women are superheroes, baby.
Right.
Period.
And you know what? Ingenue Ellis was actually in Lovecraft Country, and that's the one I couldn't remember. So thank you, Candy. You just triggered my memory for that. Ingenue Ellis was a Black woman in Lovecraft Country, and she was phenomenal.
You know what?
I'll keep her around.
I have not watched Lovecraft Country. I'm so sorry.
You gotta watch. It's okay. Don't apologize. You just got a remedy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I just didn't want to pay for another streaming service. I had to continue.
We gonna text you after the show.
You need to bootleg.
We gonna text you after the show.
Because I was like, look, I got too many monthly subscriptions. I'm not signing up for another.
I respect that. I respect that. We be sharing subscriptions, man. Like, let me
let's
go. I got you.
Listen, the Lord is still working on me with Lovecraft. Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Honey, when it's borderline horror.
It wasn't that scary.
You couldn't get into it.
But
it had like one
Shonda,
episode.
I'm very scary. Okay,
I don't do. I'm a big fucking baby.
Me too, sis. Like, okay, did you
watch
get
it during the
creeped
day?
Out?
You get creeped out by every night.
What'd you say? You leave the TV?
I sleep with a light on every night.
Listen,
I have a night light, and I'm not ashamed.
Girl, I am with you. How did you feel about like Get Out?
Well, Get Out wasn't scary like that. I think.
Then I'm a bigger baby.
I was about to say, no.
Nick is a baby.
It's suspense. Like, it's the type of suspense that you study in film school, like some Alfred Hitchcock type shit. He was masterful with it. So I don't like gore, and I don't like scary shit. Like, to me, Get Out was more suspenseful than it was scary, and it certainly wasn't gory at all.
No.
I mean, when they was hacking
At the end, honey,
I agree. It was suspenseful. It was suspenseful, and I don't like suspense. That's the shit I don't like, especially when you're in the movies and like the music gets you and it's loud as fuck. Yeah, nah. I gotta leave. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah.
It gets you. It definitely gets you.
I'm what you said.
Kind of. Yeah.
Oh, Candy said, I'm sorry, Nick.
No,
Candy said something powerful. She said, I think she was talking about Get Out or something else. It makes white supremacy a horror. That is genius. And that is exactly
it. That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is. When I feel like something is real life,
right?
Which it all is.
It is,
like,
right?
That
like
would
it's
be
too close.
the nightmare.
I feel that.
It's too close.
That's why I don't know if I'm gonna watch the next season of Handmaid's Tale. I don't know because
I couldn't watch that.
I couldn't do it. I got to episode 2 and I was like,
I could watch that.
I watched one episode and I said, I'm terrified. Let me tell you something.
right.
What was scary to me was the Hunger Games. I felt
Hunger Games. Yeah.
When the bitch had to do the shit again, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah, right. I'm done.
I can't go through this no more.
Count me out.
Right.
I loved it. I thought it was a great film, but like I couldn't watch it. So I guess we all have different levels of like what's scary to us.
What freaks you out?
Yeah, that freaked me out. I was like, this bitch don't deserve that again. Like,
I gotta go. That's when I get on the stripper pole. That's why I go find it. Like, all right, babe.
Right.
Let me ride on down.
Handmaid's Tale did inspire something in me though. I was like, why don't the White House staff like get together like the maids did in Handmaid's Tale and do some like ill shit and like make something happen? Right. 2016 to 2020. Why can't y'all just come through?
Why can't y'all come through?
Right.
Facts.
Oh,
facts.
So I have a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
We don't want to hold you too long, but when you hit a roadblock in your career, what are some things that you tell yourself to get through that?
What I tell myself is that, especially in film, it's just a slow process. Like, unless you are a person who has someone backing you with millions of dollars or like all of these resources, it's just a slow, tedious process. A lot of talking to people, making them believe in what you want. I mean, what your idea is and your creativity. I don't know. I think you just have to me, I just have to tell myself, okay, like I mentioned earlier, you have to just let yourself know, I belong here.
Right.
I belong here. I deserve to be here. And just believe in your creative voice and believe in your talent. And it's not always easy. It's a lot of times where I doubt myself. Like after Sweet Auburn Blues, like it blew up here in Atlanta. We were having screenings everywhere. I had to do panels. I don't like panels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people interviewing us and shit. Like I don't like doing it. I don't like that shit.
Yeah.
But those moments let me know, okay, there's something here. You have a talent. You have this gift. So don't doubt yourself in those moments where it's not popping and it's not a sold out screening and you don't know what your next project is or you don't know how you're going to fund your next project.
Right.
Just believe in just believe in your creative voice and just trust it. Just trust your creativity and keep working at it. Even if it's just a little something that you do every day, just a little tiny thing that you do every day, just do something. You know, and so that's kind of how I get myself over the hump. Sometimes I feel like it's more humps than there are fucking triumphs. But you just gotta keep at it because it's just not an easy road, you know.
Yeah, you gotta fall 9 times, get up 10. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Just and then keep falling. But I just wanted to say thank you for doing interviews because you dropping these gems, like for real. Thank you for taking the chance and talking to the people because I hate panels and stuff too, man. I just wanted to say like people need to hear what you got to say as well, and I just appreciate you for doing it. That's
thank you, because you know what, it's something that's so far out of my comfort zone, and it's so weird because I'm so extroverted. But like when all the attention is on me, I'm talking about I get to sweating. I get the bubble guts. I'll be like, oh my God,
oh honey, the bubble guts. Yeah,
it's real, and I just have to talk myself through it. And sometimes I be so terrified that at the last minute, I'm not gonna do it. But then once I get there, even if there's that quote that says, speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. There's been me so many times where I just have to power through it And then by the time I get done, people be like, "Oh my God, I fuck with you, and I love what you said." And I'm like, "Oh, really?"
Right.
But so yeah, like I would just say, just keep doing things that are not in your comfort zone, because that's how you grow.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it seems like that's the only way you can grow,
Right.
making yourself uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Well, what's next for you, sis? Like, what, you have any projects on the table? Are you creating any? Can we get a little behind the scenes?
I am. Okay, so I love Atlanta. There's a lot of history here, especially like Black history, and I love it. I'm a history buff. I'm a nerd about that shit. So growing up, I always Freaknik was the thing. All my older cousins went for spring break every year. They came back with these crazy stories, and I've always been fascinated with it, because I was like, yo, I'm going as soon as I get older.
I'm going.
It's over with.
I always wanted to go. Never went, but I always wanted to go, child.
That's my thing. Like, it's a lot of us who heard about it, and we never got to go. But then I started looking into it, at, outside of just like, just this fondness that I have for it. But so I started researching it, and I saw a story, and I said, I got to tell the story. So I wrote a treatment for it. I wrote an outline for it. I found some producers, hopefully some people who are interested in giving me some funding for it. So it's still in the beginning stages, but I will be bringing you a documentary about Freaknik, because it's deeper than what people think.
Let's go.
It's deeper than what people think. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
But wait, what's deeper about it though?
What's deeper is that, first of all, people have to realize that this was a grassroots thing that happened before cell phones, before the internet, before social media. But somehow this became the nationwide destination for Black college students. And it was like Black in its inception anyways. It was just Black joy. These Black, these kids going to HBCUs are like, let's go to Atlanta. And it was a place where they could just be around, people like them, and just be free and exuberant. And it was just, they had the time of their lives.
Was it like a Black Woodstock?
Yes, and that's the thing. That's the thing, is that but people don't talk about it like that. People in Atlanta be embarrassed about the shit because it was niggas twerking on the expressway. You know what I'm saying?
I'm ready.
Charlie said it was a mecca. Yes, and Charlie did go to the Freaknik, Charlie.
Yeah,
girl, I've been interviewing people. I've been interviewing people about Freaknik, and I'm like, first of all, it just really hurts me to my heart that I will never get to experience it, because it was for me. Like, I don't understand, Lord, why couldn't I have experienced it? But when I tell you the stories, and it was just like, I talked to this one lady, her and her friend, she went to Tuskegee, and she said, girl, it was like 94, I believe, and she was like, every HBCU was buzzing, like, we got to get to Freaknik.
Yeah.
She said they put motherfuckers in the trunk, pulled all their money together, and came. And she said it was one of the best times of my life, because she was like, everywhere I looked, I just saw beautiful young Black people like myself. Everybody having a good time. Everybody felt free. It was nothing that you could experience anywhere else. But don't nobody talk about it.
Why Steffi, who is the biggest prude of us all? You're talking about she was at Freaknik 1989 and 19. Listen, Steffi,
I need to talk to you.
I'm
yes.
Drop your information, because guess what? If the phones was a thing back then and social media was a thing, I'm telling you, our aunties and uncles was acting up.
Yeah.
Right.
They was out there wilding.
I'm
sad.
There
used to be a little tape? Didn't there used to be like a little?
Well,
I don't know why I feel like it was like a come to Freaknik, but it was like on VHS.
Yes. Well, see,
yes, right.
No,
all my cousins used to go, and I used to be so jealous. Like, I want to go to that one day. Wow.
And the thing is, I don't think it can ever be recreated. Just because Atlanta's so different now, it changed how Atlanta approaches like big Black events logistically.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
And
100%.
I think it also put Atlanta on the map in terms of being like a mecca for Black culture, Black music. Because before that, people weren't taking Atlanta seriously like that in terms of like, they didn't have no rappers here. It wasn't really popping like that. After I think
listen, Tyler Perry got out of that room. Tell him to open up some of them studios. Y'all can have a Freaknik up in Atlanta.
Let's go.
You know, Tyler Perry be on that respectability shit. He ain't with Freaknik. He ain't with it. Hello.
Right. Miss fucking D. Yeah.
But yeah, I got that coming up. I have a show coming up with Human TV, the same network that's streaming Sweet Harbor Blues. And it's basically going to be like what I do on Instagram, except obviously with, you know, better production quality and like a formatted like structure to it. But that's coming soon. That's kind of still in the works. But it's coming up. So just follow me on IG, follow Human TV, and to just stay updated because it'll be here before you know it.
I love it.
That is awesome.
Dope. Shout out to you, Shonda. You doing it, big sis.
Yeah,
you doing it.
I'm trying.
Thank you.
Doing
thank you for using your platform. Yes, to bring like Black joy, which is one of my questions for you. What brings you Black joy?
Yes.
You know what I love? I love just being in a gathering of Black people. You know what I'm saying? And you know Atlanta is good for that. You know, I just love spaces where Black people can just, because I think so many times, like, as we navigate our professional lives and what have you, we have to put on like a mask of sorts and like be this and be that to be in these certain different types of settings. I love it when Black people when we can just be us. And we ain't gotta talk a certain way. We don't have to pretend to be a certain way. Like, I'm not gonna judge. Ain't nobody gonna judge me if I use a double negative in a sentence, even though you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's the type of shit that brings me joy. And I love just seeing Black people succeed. And just seeing people just be free. That's what I want. I just want us to be free.
I love that. I love that.
Love it. And I got a couple more questions before we hit this. What we call it?
Rapid fire.
I lost my train of thought. So
that's good.
I know you be brunching with your homies, and I know you got brunch socks, sis. Brunch socks.
I got brunch shorts. I got a brunch hat.
Let's go.
Ready. She be ready. What else do you do for your self-care? Because, you know, shit is hard out here. The world is tripping. So what do you do to wind down, to take care of Shonda?
To wind down, sometimes I sit and I just write. And a lot of times it doesn't even like have any structure, or I'm not going to use it for anything. But I just sit down and write. Also, I'm a country girl. I will go and sit on my porch in a heartbeat. And smoke me a little bit, drink me a little bit, and just unwind and just be quiet and settle, you know. I do yoga, I work out, I go for walks. Like, you know, you gotta mix it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Mix it up.
And I love that you're intentional about that.
Gotta be. Because, you know, like I said earlier, you know, I bartend a lot. I'm involved a lot in the hospitality industry. And a lot of that is it's such a performance. Like, you just got to be so on all the time, and it can be very tiring emotionally. So I find the need, as I've gotten older, I'm just like, you know, I have to take time to just be me and just be by myself and get my thoughts together, find my peace. So that's what I do.
Natalie just said it takes a lot of work to code switch. It's nice to let our hair down and be ourselves.
Absolutely.
You put together a Black People Festival, we coming. We coming.
You know what? But see, that's the thing that I love about Atlanta is that I feel the same way about New Orleans too, but it's such a Black ass city.
Yes.
It's so Black. And I didn't even realize it until friends from other countries or other parts of the U.S. will come here and they just be like, "This is crazy. I've never seen no shit like this." But I'm so used to it that you know what I mean. But there really is something here that it's hard to find elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just something to be said about just being surrounded by so much blackness. That I absolutely love it.
I need somebody to convince the dude to move to Georgia, because I tell you what,
honey,
if I could have convinced him, he's not having
Why
it.
is he not with
No
it?
part, because he's like a black man in Georgia, the laws and the stuff. He's traumatized from living in Jersey and being like literally,
Jersey is
profiled
trash.
by the police.
Jersey and Georgia is in Atlanta specifically, because you have to be specific. It's almost like Atlanta is different than the rest. Well, it is. Atlanta is very different from the rest of Georgia. It's a blue dot in the middle of
right.
That's like Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell me, come on, man.
Listen, a sister could have a big ass house in Atlanta, honey.
Absolutely, the prices that people are paying elsewhere.
Them prices. And the space that you can get for like
absolutely. Come on, man. Tell them to give it the program. We're gonna pray on it. We're gonna pray on it.
We're gonna touch and agree.
Oh, you just need two to agree, baby.
Where two or more are gathered in his name.
Right.
Here we are in the
Come on now. Come on.
Yes.
Because Shonda, the day parties alone in Atlanta, listen. I could just have so much fun. So
I mean, I do. So
We gotta take a trip. We gotta take a trip.
Yeah, y'all got to come down here. You know, I would love to just kind of show you around, show you what's what. I love having so many options of like black businesses that I can patronize and support.
Yes,
I love that.
Yeah,
we take that for granted. Not take it for granted, but we need it. Like in Denver, that we do not have that experience. We got to travel
now.
to go to a black business. Yeah.
You have to go out your way to go to a black business, and it's and it's important to do that. But damn,
right?
It don't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all let me know when y'all ready for a trip to the A.
Let's go.
Listen, we're trying to do some things in the fall at some colleges around the country, and Atlanta is like number one on the list to try to get down there and do some things.
Okay, well, just let me know. Let me know when y'all headed here.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my final question to you before this rapid fire is: who is on your playlist?
Yes,
your current playlist.
As of late, I've had that Cardi B that up in rotation, because I've been working out a lot, trying to get, just trying to be my best self in summertime.
Yeah,
I'm about to get vaccinated, so I'm ready. I'm ready for a hot girl summer. So that song up just do something to you when you're working out. It motivates you. You know what I'm saying? So I've been listening to that. I always keep some K Tronada in the mix. I love him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And honestly, I really like that Lil Nas X song too. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Right.
It's just a good song.
Yeah. I'm not mad.
What y'all been listening to?
Yo.
I've been listening to some Hiatus Coyote.
Yes.
Okay. You know what?
Single.
Yeah.
That joint is a bop. I love it.
Yes.
I've been on a jazz kick lately. I've been on a lot of jazz because I have a jazz show coming up. So I've been on a lot of jazz and
I've been
Meg Thee Stallion.
Okay.
Meg Thee Stallion.
Jazz and Meg. Okay.
I like it. Balance.
Right. You gotta have it. You gotta have it.
I've been OCDing on like African pop and like I love Jules. I love techno. I'm all about the world music right now. Like I also love Mali music. There's this woman Omu Sangare who I can listen to her music and go in a trance. Like she's a beautiful singer from Mali. She's incredible. Yemi Alade, like all the Afrobeat, of life right now just makes
y'all put me on right now.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes.
I've been listening to some classics, man. I've been listening to a lot of funk lately, but like some of the older stuff. I love me some Anderson .Paak. Like that's the dude.
Is always great.
Come on, like you can't really go wrong. He'll touch on everything for you. You know what I'm saying? But I've been listening to a lot of Tina Turner, and have been learning more about Miss, Betty Davis, and
she was. Now you want to talk about She's a Wild One? She was
that part.
Wow, and
that
I'm with that shit.
Yeah. Facts.
Love it.
Yeah.
Listen, Carrie, you could do a whole funk set with some James Brown.
I am working on it. I will be right with you on that. Yeah.
With the suit just like,
Let's
go.
Love it. Oh, well, thank you so much for being here, Shonda. We're going to end with some rapid fire, sis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1, describe yourself in 3 words.
Funny, outgoing asshole.
Hey.
Yes.
I'm so sarcastic, and I have such a dry sense of humor that I don't even think that I'm being an asshole. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that a lot of people be like, "Wow, you're kind of an asshole." But I like you. But you're kind of an asshole.
Right.
That's my superpower. Right. I mean,
Love it.
Right.
If you could sit down and have a conversation with anyone, dead or alive, who would that be?
Ooh, shit. Oh, okay. I gotta say Ty. That's hard. Why you do me like that? I love Whitney Houston, and I feel like that woman went through some things.
Yeah.
I feel like she had a lot of shit that she didn't say. I would love to talk to Whitney Houston, and I would love to talk to Nina Simone. It's a time.
It's a time. Oh, that would be a dope ass conversation. I just want to be fly on the wall.
Oh my God.
And Whitney like to turn up, so she's talking about the scene. Wow.
And Nina would be right there with her, like, "Oh yeah, bitch," like.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that would be dope.
What's your most used emoji?
Probably like the laughing, crying one.
Oh,
I love that.
Your favorite cocktail?
An old fashioned.
Okay, yes.
Come on, perfect Manhattan and old fashioned, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody says I drink like an old black man, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. I drink my brown liquor. I drive a Cadillac. Like I'm just an unk, I suppose.
Now we gotta come to Atlanta because I need to be driven around in the Cadillac.
Drinking old fashioned, sis.
Yes.
Old fashioned.
If you could have a film that was a part of any film festival in the country, what film festival would you want your film to be featured at?
Oh, shit. Honestly, I don't know. I guess, like, people get the most clout from, like, Sundance and shit. Like, I don't know. I really don't keep up with the pretentious film shit.
Okay.
I really don't, because I just feel like that's, because I think people always say they don't need that validation. It's always so funny to me. People be like, fuck the Grammys, fuck the Oscars, fuck these institutions, these different like entities or whatever. But then they want the validation.
And then they be like, look at my Grammy, y'all.
But look at my right.
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. If I create something that people like and it, that they want to share with other people and it means something to somebody, that's all I give a fuck about. I don't give a damn about none of that other shit.
I love that.
But I mean,
where
out to a film.
There are some black ones.
Right.
Yeah,
where are the queer black film
Thank you.
awards?
That's what I want. I don't want to go somewhere to some like prestigious film festival and then I'm the only nigga in the room.
Right.
Old ass white people. I'm gonna have stupid ass small talk conversations. Like
Right.
Well, there's a black owned one called Colors of Conversation, I believe it's called. They came here to Denver. So
well, sign me up for that.
Yeah, they do big stuff in the black film world. Big stuff.
Awesome.
We gotta submit her, okay?
Yes, we do. Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, you going on a dream trip with your homies. Where are you going?
Ooh, there are so many places I really want to go.
What's your top post quarantine got to go?
Yes.
You know
what?
Turn up.
I want to like go to Capri in Italy or somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like somewhere off the coast, like some real fucking like.
Yes.
Some
some bonus shit. I ain't mad at all.
Yes.
Yeah, some real Mediterranean ass shit. I'm trying to wear some real ass shorts and wear some loafers or some shit.
I'm with that shit. I'm with that shit.
I need that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite brunch food?
Any type of some sort of eggs Benedict. I love a good poached egg, but people get real creative with it. Like I went to this one spot in Atlanta not too long ago. It was a oxtail Benedict.
Stop it.
What?
Honey.
We are where?
Right.
It's a spot called Rock Steady in Atlanta. It
Yo, I'm
Steady.
coming.
Hell Benedict, and
I'm on my way.
It
did
was
it. And,
fire.
oh my God!
Yeah.
But any sort of Benedict, like a classic eggs Benedict, I've seen crab cake Benedicts.
Oh,
I love a
yeah.
good poached egg. Just give it to me. I'm ready.
Yeah,
That's one thing I miss about being vegan is eggs Benedict and eggs like breakfast, eggs and bacon.
There's no way to do that in a vegan friendly way.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right.
No, not that one.
Damn, that's
You try a little
unfortunate.
tofu, but it ain't the same.
Not with that one.
And that's something that you wouldn't be willing to be like, okay, so one day I'm just gonna have one, like it's very strict, like no more.
At this point, I feel like my stomach would get upset. Like I would
That's
do
true.
it, but
It
I feel
probably
like my
would.
stomach would
You're
get
right.
upset.
It wouldn't even
But if
sit
I
right
could
with me.
make a vegan eggs Benedict with oxtail, like oxtail mushrooms and some jerk sauce or something, I could
You
listen.
could.
I might be able to fool you. So what?
You
Hold on.
could.
I don't know about for me, but
Right.
it might be good, but it ain't
I
gonna
have
be
seen-
oxtail.
You know what?
Wait,
Black people have hey, since black
Saying it, I'm just saying.
since black people have entered the conversation with veganism, we've been able to do some amazing things.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
I'd be like,
Absolutely.
what the fuck? I had some vegan nachos the other day, right?
Mhm.
If you would have asked me, I would have said these are like regular nachos with like some pulled pork or something on.
Right,
That
right.
shit what was that? What's that shit called? Like what's the
Beyond
one?
Meat, the Impossible Meat.
No, it was like
The
what's it?
jackfruit.
Is it
Dragon fruit.
Jackfruit. Yep.
Yes,
Jackfruit.
jackfruit.
That shit is it's
Yes.
delicious.
And then and it's a
You make
black
crab
owned
cakes with it?
it's a black queer couple too. They do
Okay.
this little food pop up, and they had this cheese sauce that was made out of cashew nuts. I was like, are y'all fucking doing something?
My mission in life is to go to Atlanta and go to Slutty Vegan.
So,
I have not been yet, and I need you to go to Slutty Vegan for me. Okay, I need you to have all the food.
I ain't
right
even
there.
been to Slutty Vegan yet.
Why? I would go today.
I ain't dealing with them lines like for a burger.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yes,
You made it up. Me standing around the corner.
I waited on her one time. She came into this comedy club that I used to work at, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Have you been to the restaurant?" I knew who she was. She had a mask. She was trying to be all low key. I said, "Peggy,
Right.
what's up, girl?" She said, "Oh, you know it was me." So we talking. Have you come to the restaurant? I said, "No, sis. I'm not waiting 2 hours for a burger."
Right.
Fast, sis.
You're like, you know where I work? Bring me a burger.
Hey, that's what I was just saying. Like, you want me to try it? I'll pay you, and you could bring me the. You know what I mean?
That's what I
And
said.
what did
She
she
was
say?
cool as
Are they
fuck,
going
though.
to improve the lines? Like, what did she say? Are they going to improve it? Because
She said, well, since then they have opened up more locations. So she said that will alleviate the traffic at one location. Since I think they have 3 or 4 now in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I have no excuse. I'm just trash. I need to go to Slutty.
We have to come to Atlanta. You have to take us to Slutty Vegan.
I
Boom,
got
boom,
you.
boom.
Right.
Yes.
Listen, I can enjoy some good vegan food. I can.
Facts.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's never the opposite, and that be my thing. It's like I can enjoy your food, but you can't enjoy my food.
Right.
I mean,
Like,
I
I
be
just
trying to
don't
make
want
me
the
feel
claw
bad
on
for
the
doing
GI
me.
system.
I be like, why you gotta do that? I just like burgers and shit. Like, come on, man. Like, this ain't a moral issue.
Right.
No, I love vegan food.
yeah, be bomb.
I fuck
And
with
my last couple one is, who do you want to see do a versus?
it.
Mm.
Ooh. You know what? I feel like people have been disrespecting Usher Raymond
Okay.
to the umpteenth degree. They just act like come on, Usher is.
Usher is Usher.
Usher could, yeah.
Yes.
And
Forever.
so people
Forever.
really be sitting here like Chris Brown can actually see Usher in a versus, and I'm like, y'all,
No.
come on, y'all.
That's a hard one, but I agree with you.
I agree with you too. I agree with you
But
too.
that's a hard one.
I think I agree with you too. I just think too many people like Chris Brown.
That's it.
Like that's like
Right.
I agree. Usher, hands down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Usher
But I feel like
could
there's
be
still
off
too
of
many.
confessions alone.
Period.
Off Confessions
Just,
alone.
and just play the whole thing straight. Done.
Straight.
Done.
Right. That's
Yeah.
my
Ain't
thing.
shit else to
What
do.
does Chris Brown have that's timeless?
Facts.
Right.
Timeless.
What, the Fame album?
Well, no, listen. I think Chris Brown has created timeless art. However,
What?
Chris,
What?
but
Name it, sis.
Usher was first. Usher did it first, and you cannot deny that he was the pioneer for a lot of stuff that Chris Brown. I mean, Michael Jackson was too, but
Yeah.
you
Right.
know,
Right.
I mean, Michael Jackson is the
touches us.
blueprint, period.
Right. Facts.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
But my question for you is, what has Chris Brown done that is timeless?
I like
That one
Fine
song.
China.
Which,
I like
which,
Fine
Break it
China.
down.
You don't even know the name of the
really
song.
wanna break
That
it
one
down.
You know that one song,
And
the
he did
one
that
I
joint with
couldn't even
Beyonce.
think of at this
No,
moment.
I got you.
And
He got that,
listen,
excuse me, miss. Niggas everywhere love that song.
this is true.
That song is a good vibe. You know, he got hits. That's my point. But you don't see anything about Chris Brown getting played at every wedding.
I just don't feel like he did it like Usher did. Like Usher will be remembered for. I just don't feel like he will be as remembered as Usher Raymond would. But that's
I also love Usher because he loved the curvy girls. And let's not talk no shit, but Usher was definitely down with the curvy chick, so I could be down with him. Even though he was trash for some of the shit he did, but so was Chris Brown. So
was Chris Brown. I was about to say, okay.
Right.
Because I don't know if Usher was snorting cocaine in the bathroom, sis, but you know.
He might have been. You know, all them celebrities be on that weird
They
shit.
all
might
were.
have been. But I feel like
them.
Chris Brown is more of a loose cannon. Like
he's a very loose cannon, and he's
violent.
Propensity for being violent towards women, and be proud of the shit too.
And be proud of it.
Right. You whack for that point blank period.
Super whack.
Right.
Honey.
So yeah, that would be that. Or, you know, I really like the one that they did with Gladys and Patty, because I love to just see some old aunties go at it.
So why did they mess up Patty's music though? I was mad about that. I was mad.
Did they? I didn't watch
messed
it.
up Patty's music.
They messed up her music?
They messed up Patty's music, and she did not deserve that. I'm sorry, because I think Gladys is the shit too. But even though Patty has had some challenges before, they messed up her music. There was times when they wouldn't play her music, or they played the wrong song or something in the verses. And I just got to speak up for my singer sister.
Yeah.
They didn't do her right during that verses, and I love me some Patty. So
I want to see Anita. That's who I want to see.
Anita, yes.
Anita has no versus competition.
I was about to say there is no one. Just Anita.
Who would be the?
Who?
I don't know. I don't know who would be the versus.
No, it would just be versus Anita.
Anita versus Anita.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
did you play Sweet Love? What can anybody?
No.
Passed out. Passed out.
Passed out.
You could do Anita and like maybe Olita Adams, but Anita would win. So and I love Olita, but Anita would win. Like it
She
would
absolutely would.
But around that time, like Regina Bell, you could do Regina Bell and Anita.
Okay.
But again, Anita would win. So
landslide. Maybe like Anita and no, that's not right. I was gonna say Anita and Toni Braxton, but I only say that because clearly Toni has been so heavily influenced by Anita.
Yeah,
she has.
I love.
You would do Toni Braxton. Who would we put Toni Braxton against? I
don't
know.
That's a heavy hitter right there.
Shante Moore-ish.
Toni would win. Toni would win.
Hands down.
Toni got
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know who could go against Toni, but she's a heavyweight, man.
I love her, smoky sultry, and I know we're getting way off topic,
right?
Y'all.
But it's fine. It's Toni Braxton.
Yes, right. And I was gonna say, who would go against Sade?
Nobody.
It's just Sade.
What if we did Anita versus
No, Sade wins. Sade wins. Sade wins.
Wait a minute.
This is complicated.
I
love you, Nick, but no, sir.
This is complicated. I don't know, man. I love you so, Sade. I love you, Monique, but I don't know. Anita Baker is
no ordinary love. No ordinary love.
I mean, classic.
Around No Ordinary Love in Sade's faces, and it would be a wrap. I'm sorry.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Vocally, Anita.
Song right.
Of love.
Y'all.
Girl, I would know. Kiss of Life. Kiss of Life.
That's the verses that we need.
It is the verses that we need. It is.
You don't know how I feel about Sade.
They're just gonna put us up. Yeah, absolutely.
You got me in my feelings. Okay?
I know, sis. Yo, big love to both of the queens.
Right, both of the queens. Period.
What was y'all's favorite verses?
I liked D'Angelo's.
Yeah,
I didn't even see that one. I had
that joint was
But it
My favorite
wasn't.
was sick.
It
But
wasn't
my
a versus,
favorite,
though, right? Cause
no, it was just like him.
yeah.
But my favorite was Jill Scott and Erica
I
Badu.
was
Yes,
Yes.
that shit
Yes.
was so fire.
Facts.
Did you see
Fire.
how magical black women are? When
The
Yes.
love, for real.
it wasn't even a competition. It was just love and
It was
Just
just
I had my
love.
exactly.
going.
That's
Yeah.
it.
I had my
Yeah.
crystals and shit. I was like, yo, my something.
I'm telling you.
Did you have your
I'm
incense, honey? Your
focused,
coochie
baby.
incense?
Yeah.
If I could have figured out how to do a head wrap, I would have had that too. Like, I was in the zone. Like, yo, that just made my skin
That was
clear
a whole
up.
vibe. Yeah.
It was
And
great.
Jill Scott is a whole vibe. I want to talk to Jill Scott. I think she would be such a dope person to talk to. I just feel like
let's have Jill and Erica on this sip at the same time.
Dude.
Please.
I
Hell
would
Put it
yeah.
out there. Hey. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Go
That
ahead,
would be
Carrie.
dope.
Put it into the universe.
I like
Yes,
to manifest shit. Let's manifest shit.
I'm gonna put it into the universe for y'all because I need that in my life.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this was such a dope show.
I
Thank
know.
you so
I
much.
had a good time with you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You are our Sister in Power for the week. Everybody shout out Shonda Harper.
Yo,
Please
make
go
sure you
follow her.
support.
Yes. Carrie, I'll let you do the outro, sis.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm putting her Instagrams in the comments right now. Make sure you go follow, check what's going on. But family, thank you so much for your time and your energy today. We will see you next week, same time. Well, we'll see you in a couple of weeks, all right? We love y'all. Make sure you follow us on Patreon, website, Instagram, all the jazz. Be out.
We out. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.